Welcome to Walking with Jesus Bible Study. Today we're going to be in the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 3, verse 19. And Samuel grew, and the Lord was with him, and did not let none of his words fall to the ground. Now repeat that. And Samuel grew, and the Lord was with him, and did let none of his words fall to the ground. God appointed Samuel of his prophet during the period of a selecting two kings, first Saul and then David. This verse follows the moment when the Lord called Samuel. From then on, Samuel continued to grow. The Lord was with him, and all his prophecies came true. God did great things through Samuel, and it began when God spoke to Samuel, and he listened, calling himself the Lord's servant. Are you willing to do whatever it is that God is asking for you? God works mightily through his servants. There's a lot of us that is calling ourselves prophets, prophetess, and it's just so happens that, we can all call ourselves that if we wanted to. But none of us is such. We're just simply God's messengers. We are his humble servants. Those who are serving God wholeheartedly and willingly is nothing but a humble servant. We're not out here giving ourselves high and mighty titles. If those people truly had read the Bible and truly understand the meaning of the Bible, they would not be giving themselves a self-proclaimed title as a prophet or a prophetess, a disciple. Yes, we're all supposed to be many disciples out here. But they didn't give themselves that title. God did. God chose to give those people those titles. It is an honor to serve God no matter what you do, as long as you're serving the Lord. But to give yourself entitlement means you're seeking for yourself something that is not yours. You're trying to glorify yourself and not the Lord. It is only because of God that you can do anything. It is only because of God that you can be anything. All the glory goes to him. You're still in God's glory. You're taking a high title that does not belong to you. And here's the thing. God says multiple times in the Bible, and Jesus even warns us, that there is going to be many false prophets and false prophetess that says they come in the name of God. And therefore they're not coming in the name of God. They're coming in the name of Satan. And they're going to produce great signs and great wonders to prove and try to back up their story of why they are a prophet. But they will not be. So I can understand why anybody who have read the Bible nowadays that is sitting here and being God's messenger, why they would want to even give themselves that title, knowing there's already going to have people going against them, thinking that they just might be one of those false prophets. And see, that's the very reason why God has not come down and chosen anybody and said, you are going to be my prophet. It says in the end times that there's going to be 144,000 that's going to be his messengers, his ideal chosen ones. 12,000 out of each 12 tribes that he has is going to be out there and preaching in his name and speaking his name. He didn't say that there's going to be 144 prophets out there. 144,000 prophets, my bad. There's going to be 2 witnesses. Even then, he didn't even call them prophets. He said 2 witnesses. for that particular reason, that reason alone. Because he knew the devil's plan. See, God is all-knowing, Satan is not. Satan can't see the beginning, the middle, and the end. He can't even hear nobody's thoughts. He can plant thoughts into your heads, but he can't hear your thoughts. He can hear the words you speak because he has many dominions, many demons that spy and go back and tell him everything. That's how he's able to hear a lot of things that's going on. Not that he's in all place at all times. He just has a lot of people that work for him. He has to. In order to even begin to compete with God. And because God knows this, and this is what he was going to do, he doesn't have nobody going out and handing up titles that you're a prophet and you're a prophet. Here's the thing. God come down and spoke to these prophets in their dreams and in visions. Yes, a lot of us, it says in the Bible, will have dreams and will have visions. He also said you're young and you're old. Men and women. But neither did he call them prophets by saying, I would give to these prophets and they shall be my prophets. The ones that I give these visions. He didn't even say that. So I know I might have seemed cruel that I made several videos saying, you know, you need to change your name if you're going around calling yourself a prophet or prophetess. I wasn't trying to be cruel or nothing, but it's just a fact. Moses, God spoke face to face and was the only one that he spoke face to face. That is a high-ranking title, especially back in that day. And it still is to this day. And if those people have done anything and read their Bible, which they should have, if you're going out there and you're speaking God's word, you better hope that those people are in the Bible and reading it. There's a lot of people that are not actually reading the Bible. They're generally just preaching what off they heard other people say. Generally just speaking the main topics that anybody can just Google. And they have no clue about the stories in the Bible. Nor their meaning. But they're going around and telling you their version of the story. How can they give you a version of the story if they've never even read the story? That's why it's very important for you to read it yourself. So you can discern and pick out these people who is trying to teach you wrong. Because not everybody can be out there and in that Bible 24/7. They have kids, they have lives, they have jobs. And so they need people like evangelists to help them understand certain things that they didn't quite get or didn't quite understand. Or to give them a very point of view that they quite didn't get, but now they're like, oh yes, thank you, I so needed that, you know? Because there's certain people who's devoted their life to serving God, to do this for people who don't have the opportunity or can't, or have, you know, doing other God's will by multiplying and, you know, providing for their family members. He needs all people doing all kinds of things so they can reach all people in all different kinds of areas. Not one job is more important than the other. We're all his children, and he needs us all to share the gospel in whatever way that we can. But we need to make sure that we're spreading the truth. We need to make sure that we're also sharing love and kindness. Nobody should be charging for it. God didn't charge. When Jesus came down here, he didn't charge for his miracles. He didn't charge for his blessings. He didn't charge for any of his teachings. Everything he did freely. Because it's a free gospel. And you best believe that those out there that's charging people for his free gospel will pay in heaven. They would get their just reward. Trust me on that. So if anybody's telling you that you need to sow the seed of money, is automatically a lie. Because that does none of that. Sowing the seed, reaping and sowing has nothing to do with money whatsoever. That automatically right there will let you know that these people do not understand what they are preaching. God does not charge for something that he's given out freely. And neither should his children be charging for something that should be free.